Hello and welcome. What I'd like to do is to introduce you to my two little felines. I say they're mine. My parents have actually gone to Spain for a month, as I do every Christmas period, and they've asked Sarah and myself to take care of them. Now I call them little killers, but let me introduce you to them. This one here is called Timbo, aka Tim. Tim, would you like to say something to our listeners? You're so cute. Look at you. Yes. Probably around 18 hours of the day these cats sleep. Very productive. And this one here is called Tab. Tabmeister, would you like to say anything? There you go, you're so cute. Look at you, yes. Now, what I found pretty amazing about these cats is that their fur feels soft and lovely, and one of the reasons why it does is because we feed them what's called the BARF Diet. Now what I'd like you to do is to type into your search engine either the BARF Diet, or you could type in Pottengers cats, that's with 2 T's. And what you'll do is understand that Dr. Francis Pottenger between 1932 and 1942 studied over 900 cats, and he had these 2 experiments going on where one group he fed what's called the raw meat and raw milk, and another control group he fed heated milk or pasteurized milk and heated meats. Now what he found was, the crux of it was that the cats that were fed the raw food were loads of energy, vibrant. I was going to say similar to these guys, but they're not because they're asleep or sleeping. But they also did not suffer with any chronic conditions. But the cats that he fed heated meats and also pasteurized milk were not able to reproduce beyond their 4th generation. Now why would that be? Because once you start heating your foods, especially with contain proteins, you will turn it into a beta protein which the body doesn't recognize. And one of the big things that felines require is a thing called taurine, which is an amino acid. It's very important in their diet, but when you heat a food you will lose it. And a lot of Dr. Pottenger's studies were actually looking at the adrenal glands, but also how obviously they could be repaired a lot more efficiently by adding the right amino acids. So what I'd like to do is to actually show you what we actually feed these felines. Now here is sliced liver, British pork. It's frozen. You will actually lose some of the micronutrients by freezing foods, but because my parents are away for a while, they've literally filled up the freezer with it. I also got down and got some raw kidney. I give them raw beef, raw chicken, anything like that, and that goes into this lovely little cat's bowl. Exhibit A, down there. They've always eaten quite a lot of it. Tab always leaves a mess over to the left side there. He always likes to drag it out when Tim eats from the bowl. Now I've got a confession to make. My parents, although they listen to a lot of what I remind them about taking control of their health, they actually also, unfortunately, feed them sugar. Well, I call it sugar, it's just these crunchies. And I find that when you actually shake that thing, oh, no, they're both looking up at me. I'll just to prove. Yeah, they're so cute there. You heard that, didn't you? And you, Tab. That they will actually find it like appealing, but I often find in the bowl is they usually leave that behind. So mainly we are feeding them the BARF, the raw diet, because when you look at their jaw structure, you look at their teeth, and you know how their stomach works, it produces a lot of hydrochloric acid, they actually are used to eating fat and protein. What I will say is if you feed your dog or your cat anything other than that which was on the menu 130,000 years ago, then you will start to compromise its well-being, and they will start to suffer with chronic conditions like cancer, coronary heart disease, arthritis. Of course, when you go to the vets, similar to our disease management system, the vet will then give them a drug, just like our doctor will give you a drug. Stupid, because that's not what the body wants on a cellular level, and at best it may treat the symptom. So if you want to take control right now of your cat's health or your dog's health, then feed them the foods that were on the menu thousands of years ago. And if you do that, I will guarantee they won't get sick and they won't be unwell. Now if you are used to feeding them the tin stuff and you suddenly change, then that's going to cause problems, because it may be that they can't handle it. So wean them in slowly. But these boys have basically been eating the foods which have been on the menu since we got them, and we actually got them from a cat sanctuary. Say hello, Timbo. They're so cute. And the other thing I love about these cats is they don't claw me, and I'm not saying that all cats are like this, because they're not, but usually I'll find that most cats that I've had, is their temperament and their characters very different. But these boys are just gorgeous, just so cute. I love you. Yes. Another interesting fact is that people who are actually intolerant to cats, it's not so much the cats are intolerant to as their saliva, because when they obviously lick themselves, that breaks off the fur and then goes into the atmosphere, and that's what they could be intolerant to. But these boys are just so cute and so lovely, aren't you? I just love you so much. See, look at the camera. Yes, you're lovely. Look at that. Yeah. So, just as a quick reminder, ask yourself a question. What were these animals, these killers, these felines eating many thousands of years ago? And that's what they're required to eat, meat. And once you start heating or processing foods, tin stuff, it's dysfunctional for them. In fact, interesting enough, this one here, Tim, we actually lost for 17 days. He actually hadn't eaten food. He was trapped for nearly 3 weeks. And when he came back, he actually looked like he'd been in Auschwitz. Very fragile, very thin, but within a couple of days, I mean, he was just sleeping and eating, he improved his health. And Tab over there, we lost him just across the way there for 3 days, and again came out and he was fine. But what the vets did say is that usually cats can't live longer than 2 weeks without food, but because we feed ours the BARF raw diet, he was actually able to live for 17 days, which was amazing. I think what may have happened is I think his stomach may have shrunk from that. But again, don't believe anything I'm telling you. Go and do your own research. But Dr. Francis Pottenger, as I say, studied over 900 cats and copious amounts of research. He's written a few publications on nutrition as well, which you may want to read. Thank you very much for listening. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye for now.